Genuine objective knowledge is objective in both senses, or at least it can be. Popper's epistemology is an explanation of objective knowledge that goes beyond the objectivity claimed by other epistemologies out there, which, when they're analysed, always fall into some form of subjectivity, or both kinds of subjectivity sometimes, and I'll come back to that. Popper's epistemology explains that our knowledge of reality, our scientific, historic, moral, mathematical and philosophical explanations, they are objective. That epistemology is about objective knowledge in the sense that it can be an object itself that transforms the world around us. But it also is out there in the objective world as part of World One, in the sense that it is instantiated in objects. It is objective because, for example, a telescope contains within it the knowledge, the relationships between the lenses and the mirrors of a telescope are the same as the relationships that the telescope builder or designer has written down, or that the astronomer has instantiated in their minds of how to collect and focus light. Those are mathematical relationships that have a one-to-one correspondence between what happens in the telescope to focus light, what's going on in the telescope itself, and the plan for the telescope, or the explanations of the telescope's operation. The knowledge is objective in the sense that it is out there in the object of the telescope. So it is objective in Searle's ontological sense, or in Popper's World One, world of objects sense. But this knowledge is doubly objective because it is objective in Searle's epistemological sense as well, or in Popper's World 3 sense. And this is because the truth or falsity, rightness or wrongness, correctness or incorrectness of the claims is utterly independent of anyone's belief about what's going on, or how certain people are about it, or how confident, or whatever other feeling they might have. The theory of the telescope's operation is true or it's not true. False or not false. In most cases, our theories of the world, be they theories of how a telescope collects and focuses light, or how planets move or species change over time, all these theories, explanations, these ideas contain some misconception, some error. They can be improved in some way. They do not perfectly capture reality, and for these reasons, we can expect all of them to, strictly speaking, be misconceptions. False in some way, false in the final analysis, but they do contain some truth. They have some useful information. They are useful information, and that useful information means they are knowledge. And because the information of those explanations is useful, it gets copied, it persists, it's resilient. Or as David Deutsch has put it, knowledge is that information that, once it is instantiated somewhere in a physical substrate, it tends to cause itself to remain so. Why? Because it's useful. It is information that solves a problem, and all of these ways of putting it, what objective knowledge is, are, again, independent of what people believe about it. It solves the problem or it does not. It doesn't matter what anyone believes. So the old trope of knowledge being justified, true belief, is categorically false. It's not about belief. And as for true, we have already seen it is not true usually. We should expect it to contain misconceptions and be, in the final analysis, false, which is why Newton's theory of gravity can be useful knowledge, useful information, knowledge, though false, and replaced by a better, closer to a correct theory of reality. Explanations such as general relativity have superseded Newton's, showing that it is wrong and why and how. All other claims to explain objective knowledge fall back onto it being about some kind of belief or some degree of certainty, another feeling people have to be more or less certain.